My name is Hanifa, and I'm glad we are here again together. Thank you very much for watching my videos. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about something very, very personal. It was very painful for a very long time. I cried over it. I was disturbed. But until I healed from it, and now I can talk about it without breaking down and cry, I'm glad. So when I was 6 years old, still living with my grandmother, my mother's brother came to the village to stay with us. He was my grandmother's stepson, yeah. So my grandmother was definitely happy. We had gotten an extra pair of hands to help us around the house. We were only women living in the house, so she was really happy. So the guy started working on the villages. He started getting paid, bringing me lovely things, sweets, bread, all the things I had never eaten. Every time he came back home, I was happy. Uncle, I went, gave him a big hug. He put me on his head. I was very happy. So one day, excuse me, my grandmother went to farm like always. They didn't go to the same farm, so they went at different times. So my grandmother told my uncle, please help me and take Hanifa to school. I walked about 4 miles, so he escorted me half the journey. Like after the forest, there was a big forest that we used to go through. So after the forest, he would tell me to run. So that's what happened. He told me, stay behind, have a cup of tea, then I'll take you after. So my grandmother left and I stayed with my uncle. So after my grandmother had left, my uncle told me, you know what, Hanifa, I have a new game for us to play, but this is between me and you. Never tell anybody. I said, oh, well, if it's a secret between you and I, it's exciting. I'm happy because I loved him like a father. So he took me to his bedroom, removed his clothes, laid me on the bed, removed all my clothes, laid me on the bed. At this point, my heart was starting to pump. I was thinking, okay, this game, what kind of game are we going to play? So he removed his clothes and raped me. I remember crying because it was really, really, really painful. I told him to stop, that I didn't like the game, but he didn't stop. So he got his right hand and put it on my mouth so that he could not listen to what I was shouting about. He just continued. And I remember I stopped fighting because I was tired of moving up and down, like trying to free myself. And I just lay there. And I lay there. And I just remember thinking, please stop in the next 1 minute or so, because I was really, really, really hurting. So when he stopped, and I'm glad I can talk about this now and I don't cry. I have really healed myself. I am really, really happy about this. And when he stopped, he gathered all the clothes with the blood. We were the only 2 people living in the house, so in the house at that particular moment. So I started following him around, like, what's going on now? Blood was flowing on my legs. He cleaned me up, put a knicker on me. We went to the nearby garden, dug a big hole, buried the clothes with the blood in them. And then he told me, stay here today, you're not going to school. Tell your grandmother you're not feeling well, but never ever talk about what happened here today. I said, okay. He gave me lots of things to eat, so, like a child. So this continued for a very long period of time. And then one day, while I was playing with the neighborhood kids, this boy, and I touched this boy inappropriately, and this boy ran off and told his mother, and his mother came to attack my grandmother. Why did Hanifa touch my son like that? My grandmother defended me. No, they were kids just playing around. And my grandmother took me to the side to ask me, Hanifa, what was that? Where did you learn how to touch people like that? I said, well, we're always playing these games with my uncle. He said, that's how you show people that you love them. And I didn't know any better. So I was just showing that boy that I love him. We're friends. So my grandmother asked me, so tell me exactly what is it that you play this game? How do you play it? And I explained to her, and she burst out crying. And she got my hand and dragged me to the LC. The LC is local council, like a police, mini police or something like that. So we reached there and they called my uncle. He had made a reputation for himself in the village. Nice guy, upright, doing all kinds of things to get money. I mean, like helping out on people's farms. So he said, no, I love this girl very much. Like my daughter, I couldn't do something like that. All I do is help this family. I've never done anything like this. And because of all the eyes that were on me, I had to retract my accusations. I told them, no, nothing like that happened. We were just playing. No. I'm sorry I said it. It's not true. So when we went back home, my grandmother apologized to my uncle. And there was a gathering on the village about something. And my grandmother went to that gathering. And my uncle stayed back and told me if I ever talked about that again, he was going to kill me. I said, okay. So I kept my mouth shut. And this went on and on and on until I was 8 years old. So whoever is watching this, what's the lesson in this? Whatever is going on with you, whether you have been assaulted before, whatever happened, seek help, either professional help or find somebody that you can trust and talk to them. You could not, sometimes you really feel like you don't want to be judged or you don't know what to say, because I didn't tell anybody about this until I was a bit older. I couldn't say anything about this and it kept haunting me. It does haunt you and it plays with your mind. So please find somebody to talk to. If it happened to you and it is kind of playing with your mind, it does do that. And to the parents out there, be mindful of where you leave your children. Be mindful. And if you see any signs of a child that doesn't want to play with other kids, something is happening with that child. Or a child that used to be very nice and happy and all of a sudden they are just keeping to themselves. They don't want to be helped. Like kids, when you like I remember I didn't want my grandmother to bath me, clean me under there or do things like that. I started feeling ashamed. My grandma, what is this? If you see a child doing that, sometimes it's a sign that something is going on that isn't supposed to be going on. Find out, ask her, talk to your children. So many people have gone through this. So many kids have have been sexually abused. In UK right now, last year it was 15 a day, 15 cases of sexual abuse a day. But now it has gone up this year. It's 23%. So many people are being abused lately. All the children, all the kids watching this, not children or young adults, whoever, even if you're an adult, things can go wrong. Be mindful. The people you go out with, do you trust them? Do you trust you'll be back home safely? If you're going out on anonymous dates, tell your friends where you're going. Rather still go with a friend. If you're meeting a guy for the first time and you don't know anything about them, go with somebody else you trust, or go with somebody in the car so that you don't go disappearing somewhere. I have been through this and it has not been easy for me to go through. I have had to live with it almost all my life until I decided, you know what? I'm not taking myself through this no more. I am dropping this. So, thank you for watching this. Seek for help. I'm just going to say seek for help. This is a sad part of my life. I'm sorry. My voice is even getting low, but please look for help. And today's quote, like I said, I'm going to be leaving you a quote every day. Do not let the circumstances that are happening to you define who you are. You know who you are. Don't let whatever is happening to you define who you are. Until we meet again in next episode, I love you very much. Thank you for watching this. I know you have lots of things to watch, but thank you. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share this video. And leave your comments down below. Anything that has happened to you, I want to know. Please talk to me. And thank you very much for watching. See you next time.